Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing good. This video is about work done. As I am preparing this video, it is raining here, so my apologies if there is a bit of background life. This is going to be a very short video. It is about the definition of work done. The common definition of work done is force into. At least that is what we were taught in the school. That is, work done is equal to force into displacement. But I would say the definition force into displacement is not exactly correct. Or at least I should say, the definition force into displacement, it is an incomplete grasp of a very critical idea. Work done should be defined with its very precise shade of meaning. Now, the reason why I'm saying that this definition is not exactly correct, mathematically it is correct, but this definition is not exactly correct. The reason why I'm saying this is, suppose you have an object. Let us say that it is in deep space, far from any gravitating object. If it is in deep space, far from any gravitating objects around it, it's actually going to float. Now, what you are actually going to do is, you are here and you are actually going to give a little push to this object in this direction. When you apply a force to this object, then according to Newton's first law, the object keeps moving in the direction in which the force is applied until it is coupled by an external resultant force. So what actually happens is the object keeps moving. Now, if you try to define work done, then you have applied a small force, F. But the distance moved by the objects is going to be very large, which means that if there is no resisting force, then theoretically speaking, that the distance moved by the object is going to be infinity. So the question here is, work done then becomes infinity, because work done is force into distance. Force is a very small finite value, and theoretically speaking, if distance is infinity, then work done becomes infinity. This cannot be correct. The reason why I'm saying this, it cannot be correct, is because when you say work done, it also to some extent represents the quantity of energy that is expended by your body in doing that work. If you're saying that the work done is going to be infinity, then what you're actually also saying is the energy that is expended by your body also becomes infinity, which is certainly not the case. So the exact definition of work done in this case is force, work done is equal to force into distance traveled by the object during the application of the force. Into distance traveled by the object during the application of the force. During the application of the force. During the application of the force. Or if you want, you can even say work done is the force into distance traveled by the object as long as your hand is in contact with the object. Because as long as your hand is in contact with the object, then there will be a force. Because force itself is degree of interaction. So as long as there is degree of interaction between the two objects, there will be work done. The moment the contact between the person and the object, when there is no contact, then there is no work done. So this is, to some extent, this is a little bit sharper definition for work done. Or to be even more precise, you can define work done this way. Suppose you have a small platform that is supported by a spring, and let us say that you are putting a mass, a weight on the spring. So that can be represented by this yellow color. Let us say that you are putting a weight on the spring. Now, this spring would have compressed by a certain distance del. Now, if you want to define work done, of course, let us say, then it is force into distance traveled by the force itself. Okay? It is force into distance traveled by the force itself. Now, structural engineers would say that it is a half into W into del. The question here is, how do you say that this half will come? Well, there is a separate video for that, okay, because it is a gradually applied load. There can be a separate video, but my point is that work done can be defined as force into distance traveled by the force itself. Okay, that can be an even sharper definition for work done. So in this case, work done is force into distance traveled by the force. For a gradually applied load, you have to put this half in front. In the next video, I'm going to demystify why this half would come. But that is the concept of strain energy. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for listening.